Good morning, grade 3. How are you? Let's start our lesson today using air to make sound. Open your science book, page 394. Okay, using air to make sound. The sound of your voice also comes from vibrations. Yes, the sound of your voice also comes from vibrations. You are able to speak, sing, talk, yes, because your vocal cords vibrate. Do you see these vocal cords? Yes, your vocal cords vibrate so you can hear a sound. Yes, when you speak, your vocal cords tighten. They vibrate as air passes between them. Okay? Also wind instruments. You know, wind instruments, grade 3, make sounds when air inside them vibrates. Yes, listen.
I love the sound of brass instruments like these trumpets, trombones, and of course, horns.
Me too.
Now this music is called Horn Concerto No. 4 by Mozart.
Do you think it might be twice as good as his Concerto No. 2?
I don't know, but I do think we should probably find out how brass instruments work.
Oh. Yeah, so do I.
Yes, you make sounds with the trumpet by blowing into it and vibrating your lips. This makes the air inside the trumpet vibrate also. Yes, but you can change the pitch of this trumpet sound in two ways. One way is to change how your lips vibrate. The other way is to press on the valves of the trumpet. Yes, listen.
Brass instruments like this trumpet make sounds when the air inside them is made to vibrate. Vibrating air molecules bump into the molecules next to them, which makes them vibrate too. This creates a sound wave which travels through the instrument and comes out of this part, which is called the bell. When a sound wave reaches our ears, we hear the sound.
We can imagine what those sound waves look like using this spring. So, Greg, catch my end. Nice. And if we imagine that the brass instrument is at this end, then as that sets the air vibrating, it starts off the sound wave like this.
Oh, yes. Wicked. Look at
Good,
that.
isn't it? And you can see the vibration travelling all the way along the spring. Chuck it back.
But how do you get the air in the brass instrument to vibrate? It's not as simple as just blowing into it. It's time. Still can't do it. When you play a brass instrument properly, this is what your lips look like. In super slow-mo, you can see that your lips have to vibrate, which means they're moving backwards and forwards really quickly. Believe it or not, a player's lips can vibrate over 1,000 times a second. It's the player's lips vibrating against the mouthpiece that makes the air in the trumpet vibrate, and this creates the sound waves.
But these sound waves don't come directly out of the bell. Instead, they're bounced backwards and forwards, creating what we call a standing wave. Let me show you. Right, we've got a rope here, and Greg, can you... That end, brilliant, hold it. Now, what's going to happen is Greg is going to wiggle his end of the rope. It's going to bounce off me, and we should create a standing wave. So go on, start your wiggling. Go on. And there we go. That is a standing wave, and it's known as a standing wave because the wave doesn't look to be moving, even though we are wiggling the rope.
Can I stop yet?
Yes, you can.
Thanks. So, what happens is the air inside the instrument is vibrating. That then...
Yes, another wind instrument with us, grade 3, an oboe. Oboe is also a wind instrument. It has a double reed at the top. A reed is a thin piece of wood. Yes, the player blows on the reeds, making them vibrate. This vibration makes the air inside the above vibrate and make sound. Also harmonica, you know it? Harmonica has several metal reeds. This vibrate and make sound also. also clarinet, saxophone. All these wind instruments need air to make a sound. Listen.
Sets the air outside the instrument vibrating, and the vibrations then move through the air until they reach our ears.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, loud.
And it is loud because how loud something is, its volume, depends on the size of the vibrations that make up the sound waves. So if I blow hard with more energy, I make bigger vibrations.
No.
And that produces a louder sound. If I can make my lips vibrate more gently, I make smaller vibrations with less energy. So the sound is softer, like this.
Yeah, I prefer that.
Thought you might.
The earliest brass instruments weren't in fact made from brass at all. They were made from shells and animal horns, which is how some of them got their name, horns.
Makes sense. Now, modern brass instruments, like this French horn, look a little bit different. Now, one thing you might not have noticed at first glance is they are just really long tubes. They're just curled up really tightly to make them easier to hold and to play.
Now, if we were to unwind all the tubing in the French horn, you'd find that it's a whopping...
Yes, okay, grade 3. Now, who can solve this checkpoint? What makes the vocal cords vibrate? Yes, vocal cords vibrate when air passes between them. Question number 2. What are 2 ways that sounds can be different? Yes, sounds can differ in pitch and loudness. Thank you, grade 3. Goodbye.